Hello, my name is Ryan Ashker. Welcome to the Sports News on CW57, your home for local high school, collegiate, and club sports. Now let's get you off the bench and into the game. The Milwaukee Bucks made some noise in the 2015 NBA draft late last week when they passed over former Badger and Wisconsin native Sam Decker with their 17th overall pick to select guard Rashad Vaughn out of UNLV. Vaughn comes in at 6'6" and 210 pounds and is expected to provide the Bucks with some outside shooting. In the second round, Milwaukee traded UCLA shooting guard Norman Powell and a 2017 first-round draft pick to the Toronto Raptors in exchange for 28-year-old guard Greivis Vasquez. In other NBA draft news, two former Badgers were selected in the first round for the first time in program history. With the 9th overall pick in the NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets selected 7'1" Associated Press Player of the Year Frank Kaminsky, who sported a set of military tanks stitched into his suit jacket. 9 picks later, the Houston Rockets selected former Badger and Sheboygan native Sam Decker with the 18th overall pick. Decker and Kaminsky led the Badgers to an NCAA championship game appearance last season. The WIA has made some big changes in high school basketball, announcing that varsity basketball games will now play 2 18-minute halves as opposed to the 4 8-minute quarters, which we are all accustomed to, making the game closer to college basketball in the format of timing. Along with that change, the WIA also announced that JV and freshman games will play 2 16-minute halves. With the announcement of the changes, the WIA also released the schedule for the boys and girls state basketball tournament for next March. 6 WIAC athletes were named to the 2015 Capital One NCAA Division III Academic All-America Track and Field Cross Country team that is selected by the College Sports Information Directors of America. 3 female athletes, University of Wisconsin Lacrosse's Bria Halma and UW-Whitewater's Shelby Marr were first-team selections, while UW-Lacrosse's Laura Mead was a second-team honoree. Also 3 male athletes, University of Wisconsin Oshkosh's Jordan Carpenter and UW-Whitewater's Jared Deneau were second-team selections, while UW-Oshkosh's Derek Johnsrud received third-team recognition. UW-Platteville Athletic Director Mark Molesworth has announced that he will retire effective January 8, 2016 after nearly 2 decades. Molesworth joined the Pioneer Athletic Department in 1996, presiding over 16 sports and roughly 450 student athletes, as well as 100 home events each year. He helped fund the design for new facilities for baseball, outdoor track and field, and wrestling practice facility, and the Pioneer Fitness Center, as well as renovations to the Ralph E. Pioneer Stadium softball complex, indoor track and field, and offices. The highlights of his career included 2 national championships in basketball under Coach Bo Ryan in 1998 and 1999. After 12 seasons as the head baseball coach at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, Pat Bloom has accepted the same position at Washington University in St. Louis. Bloom leaves UW-Stevens Point as the program's all-time winningest coach with a career record of 393 and 175 over 12 seasons. His 393 wins are the 6th most in WIC history and rank in the top 20 amongst active Division III head coaches. Bloom led the Pioneers to 4 NCAA Division III World Series appearances, 8 WIAC tournament titles, and 2 WIAC regular season championships. We'll be right back with more of the sports news in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to Sports News. Right now we are joined by Jessica Coyne and Morgan Schmitz from Verona Area High School Volleyball. Ladies, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us.
Now, what were some of the accomplishments of the team last season?
Well, we were conference champions of the Big 8. We won 2 out of our 5 tournaments, but the other 3 we placed at. Regional champions, and yeah, oh shoot, we weren't sectional.
So a pretty successful season with that. That being said, do you have any kind of favorite memories or favorite moments from last season you can share with us?
I guess one of the standout memories was just like our last game, like the energy on the court and everyone really like giving it all they got for one of our last games was really exciting.
Mm-hmm. And if I understand correctly, you're both seniors, correct?
Yes.
Well, we both just graduated.
Both just graduated. Congratulations on that. Now, looking forward, as you guys were senior leaders on the team, kind of setting the goals, when you look ahead and kind of the legacy you guys left, what do we have to look forward to next season for Verona Volleyball? What are the team expectations for that?
I think that we have a lot of strong girls. We have a lot of seniors this next season who are like really athletic and multi-sport athletes who really have the mentality to lead the team. and I think they'll do just as well as we did this past season.
And you mentioned a lot of returning players, some upcoming seniors. Talk about that incoming senior class. So I believe the team is returning 9, you told me. Who are some of the players we can look for, and who might be some standouts for that team looking forward?
So Victoria Brizak is our starting setter. You can't miss her, number 16. Kylie Schmaltz and Carly Pavich, they look alike, but one's on the outside, one's on the right side swinging. They're some of our strongest hitters. And then we have Grace Mueller and Julie Touche in the middle. They're really strong. They've worked hard all 3 seasons they've been on varsity to get to this season.
Okay. And now in the summers, the season's kind of up and coming, not there yet. What are some of the team activities or practices or things that the Verona volleyball players do during the summer to stay in shape, keep that skill set ready, and be prepared for the upcoming season?
We have open gym practices probably once a week where we all get together, and then usually after those we just try to have dinners and team bonding things where we can just get to know each other off the court and like work on our just getting to know each other, being friends and everything. And we also, last summer, we started working out at Athletic Republic just to get in shape and make sure we're ready for the season.
Yeah, we also have our annual 3-day camp, which is, so the varsity players help out with 3rd through 8th grade camp. We help out with helping coach the little kids. And then at night, we have the high schooler camp, where the girls work hard at night for practice.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations on graduating. Good luck to the team next season. That is Jessica Coyne and Morgan Schmitz from the Verona Area High School volleyball team. Hello and welcome back to Sports News. Right now we are joined by 2 athletes from Belleville High School football, Cole Martin and Mike Jelly. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, with football season right around the corner, what are some of the team expectations?
We're just looking to win some games more than we did last year. We set a pretty high bar last year. We did pretty good, and we're going to try to come back and maybe take conference title, maybe.
Now, with a goal like that, moving ahead to a conference title, winning more games, what have you guys done to prepare yourself in the off season, in between football seasons, to have a more successful season this year?
I mean, a lot of our guys have been getting in the weight room every day after school, and we have our seniors have we've had a 7-on-7 tournament that we got into and did fairly well.
Sure.
So we've been practicing.
Okay. Now, when you look at the competition, not necessarily an easy road ahead in conference. How does your schedule shape out?
Well, the first couple games, I think we're going to pull in some wins right when conference comes around. We're going to have some difficulty against teams like Cambridge and Marshall, but who knows? Maybe we'll pull through.
See what can happen with that. And you mentioned one of the team goals, winning conference. So let me ask you the question. Belleville can win conference if... fill in the blank.
I feel like we could win conferences if everyone stays healthy and we just play 100% the whole time.
Just collaborate.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So good news, working as a team together to try to achieve those goals. With what is one thing now, being high school athletes, something that you're going to walk away from Belleville with a memory of your high school football career? How are you going to look back on that?
Oh, geez.
We definitely have to be the coaches. I mean, I feel like we have some of the best coaches in our conference.
Yeah, our coaches are super nice. And also the team, I'm never going to forget it. We're all pretty good friends. It's just been one heck of a ride.
Now, with looking ahead, how has being a football player not only impacted you on the field, but maybe off the field, whether it's at home, in school, or being a part of the community?
It's definitely taught me hard work and dedication. I mean, you got to go 100% the whole time.
It's given me some motivation to get healthy and stay active. Gives me something to look forward to.
And with you guys coming up on your senior seasons, I believe, do we have any plans yet for after school?
Not really. I haven't really thought about anything. I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Okay. Well, enjoy your season, gentlemen. Good luck with the rest of the year and the upcoming football season. That is Cole Martin and Mike Jelly from Belleville High School football. We'll be right back with more of the sports news in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. Right now I'm joined by Waterloo High School football coach Paul Shield. Paul, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been coaching over at Waterloo?
I've been coaching 14 years now. 3 years, first 3 years I was a volunteer. Last 3 years I've been able to be a paid member on the staff, and last 4 as the head coach.
Okay. So talk a bit about that transition going from, basically an intern to an assistant coach up to now a head coach.
It can be a difficult one, especially when you're involved in the same program that you take over. The relationship with the kids can be a learning curve. You tend to groom them more maybe as an assistant as to being harder on them as the head coach and things like that.
So trying to find that nice balance and working your way up as you did, how were you able to, or what process did you go through to put together a coaching staff to kind of help you out throughout the season and off season?
Well, I want to find guys that were put kids first, guys that were had good football IQ, guys that had a good championship pedigree, and I feel I've done that. I'm very fortunate enough to have the head baseball coach, head wrestling coach, and a former high school football coach on my staff, so we can throw a lot of great ideas off each other throughout the season and school year.
Fantastic. That sounds like a pretty good staff. Now, how has that off-season been going for the kids so far? How much contact do you have with them, and how have they been preparing for the upcoming season?
Well, we're restricted to 5 contact days per WIA rules. The other day we had a passing 7-on-7 passing tournament. It went very well for them. They've been doing a great job in the weight room, getting in there, doing their workouts and their agilities that we have a set plan for them to do.
And with that, you mentioned getting kids in the weight room, getting the kids lifting and doing agility. I heard you put the kids into weightlifting teams. How has that been going, and what's kind of the reasoning behind that?
The main reasoning behind that was so they hold each other accountable. They're put into teams. They have 6 teams, so there's 6 captains. Those captains are held accountable for their team to get them there, get them to do the workouts. If there would be a problem with a certain team member, then that's where I will step in and talk to that individual, maybe talk to the parents, and encourage them that, hey, the rest of your teammates are counting on you. What can we do to help you get there?
Sure. So making it where their own teammates and players are going to be holding them accountable. Paul, thank you so much for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. Right now I'm joined by Ken Bent, Russ Topper, and Anthony Harper. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about some of the benefits of martial arts and what that can provide.
Well, martial arts is a sport that brings out the best in most people as far as physical ability. We teach them coordination, balance, discipline, respect, and it's an overall program that we try to put together to build young men and women up.
Okay. And I want to make sure I mention you guys are with Legacy Martial Arts, correct? Yes. And you guys are a very viable after-school program, I would imagine, with some athletics and programs getting cut. Is that something where students could look to you guys for something to do after school to still remain active?
Yes, our after-school program is fairly active. It runs from about 4:30 until 6, and it involves boys and girls of pretty much all ages from about 4.5 through 15. And all you have to do is contact our school either through the website or on our telephone, and we will give you a schedule for the events of the year as it progresses.
And I understand you work with at-risk youth as well, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we have I've been working with 2 schools in Madison. We have a program at Badger Rock Middle School and James Wright Middle School, working with young kids and young women at an after-school program, teaching them the ins and outs of martial arts and how it will make you build you up as far as becoming good young men and women.
Now, when you're working with these students, from when they start to when they sign up, how long does it really take someone to become proficient in martial arts? How long of a process does that take?
It all depends on the individual. We have students that can come become a black belt within 2.5 to 3 years. Other students might take longer, 4 years, 5 years, all depending on how much class time they involve themselves, how hard they work at it, and there's a couple other variables involved in that too.
And I understand you guys recently attended the Badger State Games and brought back some awards, correct?
Yes, we did.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, we had 9 students go to the Badger State Games. We're a new martial arts school on Monona Drive. We've been open for 7 months, and we also we've been training with these young people. We took 9 people to the Badger State Games, and we brought home 9 trophies.
Fantastic, congratulations, that is very impressive.
One nice thing about the Badger State Games is if you qualify as a first, second, or third place athlete there, you are automatically qualified for nationals. So we can move our students from a state and local games to national events now.
Very impressive. And where can our viewers learn some more about you guys?
Tony?
Our website is legacymartialartscenter.com, and our school is located on Monona Drive, 6203. Next to Fat Jack's Barbecue. It's impossible to miss us. There's a parking lot full of cars and kids in karate uniforms all day.
Sounds great. Ken Bent, Russ Topper, and Anthony Harper, thank you so much for joining us on the Sports News today.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for having
us
us.
on.
Thank you.
We'll be right back in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. Right now we're joined by my good friend from Ford's Gym, James McIntyre. James, thanks for joining us here today. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not bad at all. Thanks for asking. So first off, you got to be ready for the show. It's coming up. And who do we have as your guest today?
Right now we got a special guest with us. It's Dorn the Storm Vu, and he's represented by Supreme Hit. So he's not part of Ford's Gym, but he's still a Madison boxer. So we still showing him support. And his coach is Maurice Muhammad. We got everybody here today. So I'll let you speak to him from here.
Thank you. Dorn, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me here too.
So what are you looking to accomplish more in your career?
I'm looking to become a world champion and also become the best there ever was, and also be influence to my people and all people around the world.
And you mentioned being to influence your people and people around the world. How does it feel to represent not only Madison, but represent the Hmong community here in Madison?
Oh, it's an honor to be representing my Hmong people here and all around the world, and also all people around the world that are standing up for right. And also it's an honor, and also it's also graceful for me to bring boxing to a new height here in Madison, Wisconsin.
Fantastic, we appreciate that, obviously. Now, I want to ask you, who is your biggest influence, maybe inside the ring and also outside of the ring? Who are some people you look towards?
Well, my biggest influence inside and outside the ring is my coach, Maurice Muhammad, who not only teaches me boxing, but also accepted me as one of his sons, and also introduced me to the teaching of Elijah Muhammad and his student Louis Farrakhan.
Okay. Now, with that, and we obviously see you got the jewelry with you today, what do you plan to bring to the table at the next event?
Well, I'm planning to bring speed, power, and agility. In other words, I'm bringing the storm.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. That is great. Now, with other goals at that event, Dorn, we want to thank you very much for joining us here today. And James, if you don't mind, we have Who's the Event boxing event coming up. And aside from that, what other long-term goals do we have for Ford's Gym and your events?
Oh man, we just want to keep it going. We want to do things like this, man. We want to have champions. We want to build champions here from Madison and spread it out. And as you see, like I said, you know he's not part of Ford's Gym. He is a Madison boxer. We got a champion right here, and we got a guy, Chris Owsley, out in the Nationals right now who is already qualified for the Olympics. So he'll be, he won his Olympic qualifiers. He's going to the trials. So we got guys doing a lot of big things right here in Madison, and that's what we want to do, is just keep it going and keep it moving from here.
Okay, James, as always, thank you for joining us here today. Dorn the Storm Vu, thank you very much for joining us here on the Sports News today, and good luck at the event.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. Right now I am very excited to introduce my next guest because he was actually my football coach when I played for UW Oshkosh, Pat Cerrone. Pat, thanks for joining us here today.
Ryan, thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it very much.
So I want to ask you, I noticed Oshkosh is now working with Be The Match. How has UW partnered with them, and tell us a little bit more about that program?
Well, a couple of years ago, a lady by the name of Kelly Vander Whelan out of Appleton decided that she needed some help with a donor recipient drive. And 500 kids at Oshkosh had their mouths swabbed, and we helped out. And I didn't really know what we were getting into, but it turned out to be a pretty special thing. And they saved lives, and we've been a part of it now for a couple of years, and it's going really well.
And being such a big part of that and helping to save lives, I want to ask you once about the process that your quarterback went through, Brett Casper. He was donating bone marrow. Tell us how that went and how that all kind of played out.
Well, what I didn't realize is when you get your mouth swabbed, it's all science stuff, which you and I don't really know much about, I don't think, correct? Am I correct in saying that?
Very much.
So when they swab your mouth, it's 6 of 10 DNA matches, and then if you've chosen, they take your blood, and that matches the other 4, and then if you're lucky enough, you get an opportunity to save someone's life, usually a young girl or a young boy, and I don't know much about it other than the fact that those swabs, each one cost $100 a piece. So fundraising, everything we do as a football program, they do. Just getting people involved, getting people motivated, and lucky enough, Brett Casper was chosen. We've actually had 3 kids in the first part, the 6 of 10 DNAs, but Brett was chosen and actually became a donor, and last February he was at University Hospital here in Madison trying to help save a little girl's life. We don't know anything about the girl. That's all confidential stuff for an entire year, but he went through the process. He's now helping them out. He'll be doing a commercial in the Green Bay area here in the next couple weeks. And we raffle off a car every year, and now it's the not only UW Oshkosh athletic car, but the Be the Match car as well. So we've partnered with them. It's been great. They need donors from 18 to 44 years old, so they focus on college campuses. And to be quite honest, Oshkosh and Be the Match, it's really, nationally we got the Camaro, we got things going with them and partnering with our team. And, I can't take all the credit. The Coach Talley out at Vanderbilt, not Vanderbilt, but the team out east, he's the guy that really started this thing.
And that's just one of the few things. Oshkosh does so much in the community, and that's something you've done a fantastic job with since you took over. And on the side of the field, you guys have also been very successful over the last 4 years. You guys are 34-10. What has contributed to that success, and what's the outlook for next season for the Titans?
Well, it's just a great place. As you know, you went to school there. Chancellor Wells, 14, 15 years he was there. He did a great job of building that campus. It's an easy sell, but the biggest thing is just the administration's commitment to athletics. It's just gotten better and better every year, and now we have a new Chancellor Levitt. He's another great guy and just helping us out. But you went there. You went there probably in the lean times, so they're not lean anymore. We're pretty deep. We have a good football program. We have a good team. And when you have a university that has 46 national titles, the history is deep there in winning. So pretty proud of that, pretty proud of being a part of something like that. And just the support you get from the administration is just going to help us in the future. And we're very fortunate to have a good football program.
Fantastic. Coach Cerrone, thanks for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Thank you, Ryan. Great seeing you again.
Once again, my name is Ryan Ashker. Thanking all of you for tuning in to the Sports News. I want to also be sure to thank all of our guests for stopping by and talking to us today. It's the Sports News on CW57, brought to you in part by the Red Zone, getting you in the game.